sports as Kyle Busch looks for his third consecutive win at Richmond Raceway. It all starts at 7:30 Eastern Saturday on Fox and the Fox Sports app. It is time for us to go viral. Cleveland Browns fans are riding high this offseason as the team is hoping they can make their first playoff appearance since 2002. Baker Mayfield gave fans an offseason update. Take a listen to this.
What's up, guys? Just really excited for the season. Just want you guys to know that I'm working really hard. We're gonna have a great season, and let's go Browns.
What made him decide I'm gonna do the old 9-year-old helium voice, send it out to the masses?
You gotta have some fun. You gotta have some fun. I know Colin probably hates this. I love it. More Baker Mayfield every single day.
Man, he's a different type of quarterback. I always like this type of stuff. This is a little goofy even for my taste, but I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
You really should follow his Instagram account. He honestly does something like this at least once a day. Now, of course, I spent the whole video watching to see what it was going to blow up to. I had no idea we were going the route of helium, to which I said,
what? You don't take the helium out and
I didn't know he was doing that. I thought he was blowing up a balloon and it was going to say something. I watched the whole thing. I didn't. At the very end,
but after you saw him take in the helium, then you're supposed to say something.
What we're going to do is move on now.
How can Jenna get confused by 12-second Instagram videos? Follow him on Instagram for these brain teasers.
Okay. Photoshop. Squirrel. Time for stories to start your morning. UVA is your national champion. They outlasted Texas Tech last night, 85-77 in overtime. Nick, what was your reaction to the win?
One of the greatest redemption stories in the history of sports, marred slightly by a terrible application of the worst rule in sports, instant replay in basketball. But for Tony Bennett and those kids to come back from the depths, I thought the Spurs coming back from the Ray Allen shot to win a title the next year was as good as it gets. This is that times 10. Lose to a 16 seed and then win the tournament with 3 straight games that they could have lost. Spectacular story for a program that was due, but we didn't know if it'd ever get there.
It's hard to imagine UVA. This is their first national championship. First appearance, first national championship. All the players that have gone to school there, all the good teams that they've had, congratulations to them. They were able to endure 2 overtime games in this streak that they went through in the tournament. Congratulations. Tremendous win.
Ralph Sampson got to watch it in person. 3-time player of the year. Never got it.
I got a great Ralph Sampson story.
Okay, that sounds like it's off the air. Give him a smile on your face.
Yeah, probably off the shot.
On to the Dallas Cowboys now. After extending DeMarcus Lawrence to a long-term deal, Dak Prescott could be next. And while he wants to, quote, get paid, Stephen Jones said his 4th-year quarterback's contract will have to be, quote, team-friendly. See, what do you expect in these negotiations?
I hope that Dak is smart, and he has shown in this short career that to be able to make good decisions. Him wearing that star on his helmet and being a Dallas Cowboy quarterback 10, 12 years, he's going to make a lot of money on and off the field. I hope he understands the opportunity. Amari Cooper. I got an offensive line in front of me. Ezekiel Elliott needs to be signed. Man, we need some cap room. Look at Tom Brady. Don't give him the Tom Brady deal, but be smart.
And to me, Dak also is incentivized to get this deal done before he plays again. Because there's no guarantee that Dak taking the field again raises his value, increases his leverage. He's been a very up and down player in his career. So, yeah, I think a team-friendly deal is a fair deal given his level of play.
Get enough to put a fence around your house, man, to keep them wild dogs from biting people. Do that. Get enough for that.
Yeah, and the settlement you're about to have to pay because of those dogs biting people. That's wild, man.
All right, finally, in a survey conducted by The Athletic, current NBA players were asked who the MVP was. 44% selected James Harden, while 39% had Giannis as MVP. Nick, are the players right picking Harden over Giannis?
I think it's going to surprise a lot of people, my answer. I've waited on this. I said I wanted, because of how close it was, I wanted to get as much information as possible. Now I've got a game or two left. I think the players are right. I think James Harden should be the MVP this year.
Wow.
Giannis was my preseason pick. Because I don't have a vote, I'm allowed to gamble on it. I bet on Giannis preseason, and I think Giannis probably will win. But James Harden should win the MVP. And see, you and I have talked about how we were watching a documentary where a psychologist said people remember stories more than numbers. And so I could inundate you with the numbers supporting James Harden's case, the scoring, the advanced metrics, the historical significance of 36 points per game. But instead, just imagine this scenario. Imagine any of the other superstars in this league, whether it's LeBron, Kevin Durant, Joel Embiid, Anthony Davis, average 36 points a game on an injury-riddled team that is going to be the 2 or the 3 seed in the West. Would it even be a debate? Would we, no matter that, hey, Giannis's team's going to win 6 or 7 more games, and he's a better defensive player. If it were anyone other than Harden having this season, wouldn't he be the runaway favorite? And I do think it's close, and I do think there's a good argument for Giannis. But Giannis is the heavy Vegas favorite, and I think people were surprised the players picked Harden. I don't think another player in the league could have done for the Rockets what James Harden did this year. The win total is now not even that different. The Rockets might end up the 2 seed in the West. And I just can't get over the volume scoring and him taking the Rockets from 14th in the West through Chris Paul and Capella's injury to where they are right now.
Yeah, well, I'll use your example because there's a lot of times, and it's very rare, but there are a number of times that you are able to see 2 performances, and both of these guys are deserving. But well, who could have Giannis's numbers and wouldn't be MVP? Because Giannis is well deserving. If you look at the offensive end, the defensive end, if you look at the team, people say, oh, I'm into team, I'm into winning. Well, then all those things Giannis has accomplished. The person that's grown their game, Giannis, he would be able to answer to that question. So I can make a case for both of these guys. Tremendous years. The one thing I can say about Harden is that Harden has been in Giannis's position before and didn't win MVP. So now do they make up for one of those years when Harden got robbed of being MVP? And typically when you're in the MVP conversation, you have to be in it the previous year. And then that next year, if you're able to follow up on it, then they're able to give it to you. But both of these guys, tremendous seasons in themselves. I'm not going to tear down either one. The voters will get it right because you can't get this one wrong.
And I also want people to understand, like, the precedent of if you are scoring at this clip and your team's good, every single guy to have done it post-Wilt has won the MVP that year, except for Jordan a few times. Because Jordan won some, and but they gave Barkley one that Jordan probably should have won. There was some Jordan fatigue. But Bob McAdoo in 1975, 32-plus points per game on a really good team. MVP. Kevin Durant a few years ago. Everybody that has been 32-plus points on a really good team has won MVP every time they've done it, except for Jordan, there are actually 3 times he could have won the MVP when he hit those thresholds and just didn't get it because people in the beginning, they didn't know if his team would have playoff success. In the end, they got sick of giving him.
But are you guys surprised that the players voted for Harden or would vote for Harden over Giannis?
No, I think the players, because they've seen Harden. They know how hard he's worked, how much he's grown his game. He's done it the last 5 years. I mean, he has been there in these conversations. So, no, I can understand the players respect how long he's probably done it compared to Giannis really jumping on the scene the last 2 years.
And the other interesting part of this players poll by The Athletic, where about a quarter of the league was polled, one of the most underrated players, according to the players, was Chris Middleton. And that's Giannis's teammate.
Yep.
So I bring that up in the context of, I think the players, maybe more than the general public, think Giannis has a better supporting cast than he's given credit for, with Bledsoe and Middleton, the coach, the situation they have there, and recognize that Harden had no Chris Paul and no Clint Capella for a long stretch. Again, the only wrong answer to me is it's not close. It is very close, but I think Harden's your league MVP for the second straight year.
All right, let's dive into the NFL here. Antonio Brown, he jabbed with his former teammate Juju Smith-Schuster over the weekend. The two went back and forth over Twitter. AB wasn't done, apparently, last night, sending out a screenshot of a direct message Juju sent him on Instagram from Juju's college days. It said, "What's up, baby? I'm a receiver at the University of Southern California. I appreciate